Okay, so this is part 2 of the previous video. If you haven't seen that, I recommend you go watch it because I explain a lot more. But right now I'm just going to get right into Daniel chapter 8, the second vision, or another vision of Daniel that was given to him by God. A quick summary is I felt led to read this because I prayed God and I opened the Bible randomly. I stumbled upon this verse, so I'm going to read it to you. I asked him, what should I tell you people or anyone watching that's going to watch this video? And so I was led to this. But I highly recommend you go watch the first video because I explain it a little bit better, more in depth. But here we go. I'm going to get right into Daniel chapter 8. So this is the vision of the ram and the goat. So the second vision. Well, I don't want to say the second vision, but the second vision in a row, I guess you can say, as far as the story of the book goes. So, but in the 3rd year of the reign of King Belshazzar, a vision appeared to me, Daniel, after that which appeared to me at first. Then I saw in the vision, and when I saw in Susa, the capital which is in the province of Elam, and I saw in the vision, and I was at the river Ulea. I raised my eyes and saw, and behold, a ram standing on the bank of the river. It had 2 horns, and both horns were high, but one was higher than the other, and the higher one came up last. I saw the ram charging westward and northward and southward. No beast could stand before him, and there was no one who could rescue from his power. He did as he pleased and magnified himself. As I was considering, behold, a he-goat came from the west across the face of the whole earth without touching the ground, and the goat had a conspicuous horn between his eyes. He came to the ram with the 2 horns, which is another ram, which I had seen standing on the bank of the river, and he ran at him in his mighty wrath. I saw him come close to the ram, and he was enraged against him, and struck the ram and broke his 2 horns. The ram that had 1 horn broke the one with 2 horns, and the ram had no power to stand against him, but he cast him down to the ground and trampled upon him, and there was no one who could rescue the ram from his power. Then the he-goat magnified himself exceedingly, but when he was strong, the great horn was broken, and instead of it there came up 4 conspicuous horns, the 4 winds of heaven. Out of one of them came forth a little horn, which grew exceedingly great toward the south, toward the east, and toward the glorious land. It grew great even to the host of heaven, and some of the host of the stars it cast down to the ground, and trampled upon them. It magnified itself even up to the prince of the host, and the continual burnt offering was taken away from him, and the place of his sanctuary was overthrown, and the host was given over to it together with the continual burnt offering through transgression, and truth was cast down to the ground, and the horn acted and prospered. Then I heard a holy one speaking, and another holy one said to the one that spoke, For how long is the vision concerning the continual burnt offering, the transgression that makes desolate, and the giving over to the sanctuary and host to be trampled underfoot? And he said to him, For 2,300 evenings and mornings, then the sanctuary shall be restored to its rightful state. So that was the vision in Daniel chapter 8. Now I'm going to read to you the next part of it that Gabriel interprets the vision. But it's kind of summing up the last vision that he had that I recorded in part 1 is, and the reason I recorded 2 parts is because I'm not sure. Let me make sure this is recording. Yep. My phone has a little bit problem with storage space. I'm not trying to, so if I make it video too long, it'll cut it off randomly. So I'm trying to make it so that I don't have to re-record it. So I'm just going to record in 2 parts just to be safe. But so he's talking about a lot of kings that are kind of coming up. They're going to topple one another, and it's also talking. I think it's talking about. Well, it is talking about more toward the end times before the coming of Christ. the second coming of Christ, and like how these kings, which I think are going to be presidents or world leaders in the Middle East. Here's what Gabriel interprets the vision. This is continuing off where I last stopped. When I, Daniel, had seen the vision, I sought to understand it, and behold, there stood before me one having the appearance of man, and I heard a man's voice between the banks of the Ulai, and it called, Gabriel, make this man understand the vision. So he came near where I stood, and when he came, I was frightened and fell upon my face. But he said to me, Understand, O son of man, that the vision is for the time of the end. As he was speaking to me, I fell into a deep sleep with my face to the ground, and he touched me and set me on my feet. He said, Behold, I will make known to you what shall be at the latter end of the indignation, for it pertains to the appointed time of the end. As for the ram which you saw with the two horns, these are the kings of Media and Persia, and the he-goat is the king of Greece, and the great horn between his eyes is the first king. As for the horn that was broken, in place of which 4 others arose, 4 kingdoms shall arise from this nation, but not with his power. And at the latter end of the rule, when the transgressors have reached their full measure, a king of bold countenance, one who understands riddles, shall arise. His power shall be great, and he shall cause fearful destruction, and shall succeed in what he does, and destroy mighty men and the people of the saints. By his cunning he shall make deceit prosper under his hand, and in his own mind he shall magnify himself. Without warning he shall destroy many, and he shall even rise up against the prince of princes, but no human hand he shall be broken. But by no human hand he shall be broken. The vision of the events in the mornings which has been told is true, but seal up the vision, for it pertains to many days hence. And I, Daniel, was overcome and lay sick for some days. Then I rose and went about the king's business, but I was appalled by the vision and did not understand it. So like the last part, it sounds like he's going to be very deceptive and make war against God's people and the saints and all righteous men. I don't know if this is going to be like the Antichrist or like someone controlled by the Antichrist or by Satan, but like Daniel says, but I was appalled by the vision and did not understand. I don't fully understand it either, like what specific details. I mean, we know it's going to talk about kings rising above each other in the end days, and that they're given power. And they're only given power because of God, as allowing it. God is the one who put them there. And there's going to be one king that's going to make war against God's people and the saints. And in the beginning, in the part 1 I made, it talks about how God's kingdom is going to be established and destroy all the other kingdoms of the world, of the earth. So I really hope and pray that this spoke to someone, because I felt led by the Lord. I prayed God. I'm like, what do you want me to tell people? What word do you wish me to share with people, Lord? And I opened the Bible randomly and stumbled upon Daniel 7 and 8. So, and pray for God to give you discernment. Hey, is this God? Was this for me? And also, I think it's a good reminder to think about, to pay attention a little bit more to the Middle East and what's happening. Okay, we're still recording. Good. To pay attention in the Middle East, what's happening as far as like world leaders, and especially, because I said this in another video, it's mentioned in Revelation. It talks about the 4 horsemen. One of the horses is red, one is white, one is green, one is black. That's not a coincidence. Someone made a video about this. I saw it on Shorts. I think it was a Shorts, but someone pointed out that they're the colors of the Iranian, like a bunch of different of the flags in the Middle East, like Iran and Jordan, I think. But a lot of flags in the Middle East have those colors. They're arranged differently, but they have the same 4 colors: red, white, green, and black. So I think this also pertains to like the Middle East kings and world leaders, or in Europe. But again, pray for God for discernment. Ask God, meditate on this a little bit if you feel led to, if you want to. Like, is this for me, Lord? What are you trying to say or speak to you? What is God trying to say? Yeah, basically just ask God, what are you trying to tell me? I'll see you in the next video.